Action. The realest, rawest podcast. Get ready, bitches. Talking with Vic starts now. Yikes, here we are.
Here you go.
This is like the first episode
Exactly.
of my podcast.
Mm-hmm. What is it called?
Talking with Vic.
Period.
Talking with the New York accent.
And it's talking. It's right here in my face.
Exactly.
Talking.
No.
Like water.
Like water.
That's my favorite.
Hold on. I have something to ask you.
What?
Did my accent lessen? Because some people say
No.
that. No?
No.
Really?
I think it's a part of you. I don't think it ever
Is
will.
embedded in me?
Yeah.
You
I really
the way
think,
said
and it
embedded?
comes out worse when you're angry. So, no.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna lose that. I think it's a part of who you are.
But here we are with you,
Yes.
Zachary Campbell,
Hello.
YouTube icon.
Hello.
And what else? What would you
What would I
say
call
to
myself?
describe yourself?
An entertainer. Honestly, to put this all under one umbrella, entertainer.
That is
Like I
what you
love too many things. Like I love to act, sing, dance, talk. And I think just being an all around entertainer is what I want to call myself. Because I used to be like, oh, an influencer, but then I'm like, I don't influence
Child.
enough.
I feel like that's
Like,
been so overused at this
talk
point.
about it. I mean, bitch, if you got
I don't be knowing
5,000
what to
followers,
say.
you are an influencer,
No
you
shade.
know, and you feel
Especially
like
in LA.
Especially in LA. You got 5,000 followers in LA. You hang around some of the girls. You're an influencer,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't tell me that I'm not. And a lot of girls have that mentality.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, well, I don't have that mentality, and I don't think that my word is more valuable than a lot of people's.
No
I don't think
shade.
I'm moving a whole.
No shade.
I
You
don't
just
think of myself like
contribute
that.
to the
I think I just
conversation.
contribute to the conversation and make people laugh and have a good time, and I'm okay with that. I'm like, bitch, that's perfect enough for me.
As
you know?
it should be.
Yeah.
But I really wanted you to be my first guest. Now I've been planning this for a couple months,
Tea.
and in my mind, I was like, Zachary Campbell has to be the first guest because one, you genuinely inspire me. You're
Thank
like
you.
one of the hardest workers that I know.
Thank
Like
you.
even the last time I saw you, which was I would say a couple
Couple
good months
It was like in the
back,
summer. It was in the summer.
and you were working.
Yeah.
You were working. You were editing.
What can I cuss?
Oh, do your thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely was. Like I forgot you came over. I was editing the Doja Cat
Doja
situation.
Cat,
Yep,
yeah.
and we were posting it that same day.
Yeah, it was like a premiere.
It was a whole
premiere
thing, and I was like
moment.
freaking out and shit. I remember that. Damn, and I had
Yeah.
COVID.
Child.
Didn't even know it. I was like, my smell,
Well, I'm
my
glad we have
taste
these
are gone.
shields.
Yeah,
And we're 6 feet
and we're
apart,
good now.
so,
Girls
yeah.
are tested, honey. Everybody all right.
Child.
But baby, yeah, this summer was cute. I definitely had COVID for like 2 weeks.
Yikes.
After that, isn't that crazy?
Yikes.
Yeah, I was
Yikes.
tired.
But you're here now.
I'm here now.
You're thriving.
And good and well.
It's the new year.
It is.
It's the new year.
2021.
2020 was nuts. It was nuts.
I think nuts to say the least.
To say the least.
But let me ask you this,
Mhm.
because I just want to know, because we are in the same field. Did it affect you positively, negatively? Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Or did it affect you just positive or negative? And when I say positive and negatively, like, was it like a lot of ups with some downs because of like energy and like?
I think that's
you know?
just life.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I think that's life. I think that if it wasn't for everything that happened, I wouldn't be doing this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it taught me to expand
Mm.
and not put all my eggs in one basket.
A lot of people got out of those boxes.
Yes.
That we all put ourselves in.
Yeah.
And I feel like even myself, like, this 2021 now, so we can talk about this. Well, so I've started recording my music now,
Okay.
and it's been
Yes, music.
insane. You know, it's been like really insane, and like working with like beats and staying up for
Mhm.
hours and hours, like just mastering
Living in
one. No, seriously,
Living
like I
in it.
really now, even when I do bopper flops, I'm just like, well, bitch. This could be a flop, but they could have took years to make this. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like now that I'm on the other spectrum, I'm like, ooh, girl, making music is not easy,
No shade.
especially from the ground up. I mean, I don't have a writer. It's just me and my team.
So you
and
do your own writing?
yes, own writing. I have a producer.
That's scary.
It's very scary.
I'm scared for you.
I am. I'm very terrified. But I'm not the only person writing it. I have people contributing. Obviously, like I'm not the only one like writing the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a Max Martin in my in my room.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
have a
been
Zachary Campbell.
just me. But I feel like this has like this whole like 2020 thing has like given me the energy to be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let
if
me
we
go
can
ahead.
make it through this year,
Bitch,
no
if I can
shade.
do that,
No
and if I
shade.
can also, I feel like make it through and navigate through life generally, like every day, like it's just 2020 is just like amplified all the fucked up shit that was going on in the world anyway. And I'm just like, well, now that I've experienced this for the past 25, 26 years of my life, I think that now I can move and kind of like navigate through all the bullshit that was already thrown at me, you know, in 2020, you
That's
know?
how I feel.
Yeah.
But I know we're in 2021. It's a new beginning.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to go back to the beginning.
Let's do
because
that.
we moved to LA at the same time.
Yeah, 27 fucking teen.
You moved, I would say, like 3 weeks
months.
after?
No, a couple months after.
A couple months?
I think,
Were you visiting?
I had moved. I visited in 2016. I thought I was, fun fact, was moving to Atlanta. Believe it or not. I was like, I can't afford LA. I'm okay.
I live for Atlanta.
I do too. So I was like, well, maybe I could just move to Atlanta. Because once I heard rent was like $1,200 for a box here, I said, oh, girl,
no shade.
I can go to Atlanta, honey, and pay $1,200 for a house and be okay.
Yeah.
But then the universe and God did not like that, and they let me back here, and some way somehow got a place, some way somehow had the money to do so. It was really, really crazy how the lines kind of like added up.
That was me.
So I was like, well, I got it. Why not? Okay, I could do it.
Yeah.
And I just did it. Literally just did it. And that was like I think you moved here in April or March, right?
April 31st of 2017. So almost 4 years.
Yeah, mine was June.
That's crazy.
June 2017. June 1st, 2017. I'll never forget it.
And we had quite a ride in those first couple of months. I feel like it was easy to kind of mesh in the beginning because we could relate to being new.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I'm from New York, you're from Detroit. We just do things a little bit more rougher around the edges.
Of course.
And coming to LA, it was like, you're an outsider and you're automatically judged kind of just
so
for being
rough.
yourself.
Yeah, you're too rough.
For being yourself. Even though no shade, I do feel like I needed to tone it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I think that like, shit, that was 2017. That's crazy. We were young.
That was like, I feel like a lifetime ago.
It feels like a lifetime, but if I sit here and think about it, it feels like yesterday.
Yes.
Because we had because you were the first like group of like friends I had in LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I was over your house, literally, I could have paid rent, right? Agreed? So it's just like, I was over there so much.
You could have.
Yeah, I could have.
You was there probably more than I was.
I was always there. And so I remember first moving to LA and just being so happy to have, being happy to have people like me that thought like me, that were new. And it felt really refreshing to be around that. So I really didn't even think about any drama or anything at that time. Because it was like, well, bitch, I'm just having a good time. Because finally I have some people that know what I'm going through, you know, being here and being new.
And relate to like kind of, even though it was more beauty with, you know,
what we did,
but you could relate in a sense where it's like you come here with a dream, and I feel like, I don't know if you could relate to this, but back home everyone kind of looks at you like you're crazy.
Come on,
when you're gonna chase your dreams, because where I'm from, you're not taught to dream big.
Nope,
you're taught to like go to school, which is fine.
Which is perfectly
like if
fine.
that's for you, that's for you,
Yeah.
but you're not taught to pursue your passion. You're taught to kind of pursue something that's safe.
Yeah. That's predictable.
Yeah, that's predictable. And it's just like, did you always know you were going to be in entertainment as a child? Because I feel like I didn't know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to do something.
I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
I absolutely knew I was going to be an entertainer. And I just didn't know like how I was going to make it to LA. I didn't know how I was going to get discovered.
Same.
But I knew that I loved entertaining. Like when I was like 3 or 4 years old, my family used to call me Mr. Hollywood. Like that was my nickname as a child because like I used to make all my family go to the family. Oh yeah, everybody got to come to the living room because I have a show. That was me. Everybody. I had a microphone. I had my whole little situation. Yeah. But if I had a moment, a production, y'all had to come to the living room and sit down and watch it. Yeah. So that was me at growing up. And then as I got into school, I went and got into theater and got into choir and stuff like that. So I always knew. A theater kid too. Yeah. So I always knew like I wanted to do something, but I just didn't know what and how I was going to do it. Yeah. But I knew that the stage, every time I got on stage, like all those doubts, it just went away. And it was so easy to like get in front of, I guess, people and do what I wanted to do. And my friends would be with me like, well, bitch, you all right? And I'm like, yeah, that was fine. Let's do it again. And I'm like, bitch, that's insane. Yeah. For me, it felt natural. Yeah. So I knew that as I got older, I was gonna get better. Mm-hmm. And once I found YouTube, bitch, at 14, which was like insane. I was like in my room upstairs in Detroit, all my friends outside, like in the summertime, like playing. I'm upstairs trying to figure out how to edit. Click to Windows Movie Maker, girl. R.I.P.
I remember Windows Movie Maker. I used to use that too. I don't know if they still make it, but like I don't even know what I was using it for because I wasn't posted at the time.
I didn't post nothing, but I was editing. I damn sure was editing. And I was editing and learning how to like shoot. And I had like a little flip cam. Remember when flip cams was a thing with like the USB on the side?
It was like, it was like an actual brand.
Yes, that was a whole thing. I used to have that. And I used to go up there and just shoot my little videos. Never posted it. But then one day I just said, well, let me post a little video and just see what happens. And it got like 3 views. Love that for me. But it was just like liberating for some reason because I made something.
You just unlocked the memory.
What?
So when I was in middle school, I started like this little like fake YouTube channel where I would take dares from like the kids at school and I would do them on YouTube.
Bitch, no you didn't.
I honestly did not remember that. And when you were like, I was like, why was I using
So you was doing shit.
Yeah. It was something. It was something that was just
and it made you feel good.
There. Yeah, no, it did. And it was kind of cute. Like the kids at school like, ooh, girl,
and you go back to school like, bitch, I was like, yes! Yo, I used to post my shit on Facebook too. Remember, that's when Facebook was like the thing in school. So I used to post my shit on Facebook.
Don't on Facebook though.
Not at all. Not now either too, because she's sickening.
Yes.
She's sickening. She said, bitch, I'm competing with YouTube, girl. Y'all mad.
No, yeah.
Seriously. And that's what's crazy though. Like even just like the full circle moment where it's like Facebook creators are like a thing now. And I'm like, bitch, I actually, before I posted on YouTube, I posted on Facebook first because all my friends could watch it. So like I wanted them to like laugh at it or whatever. And then I posted on YouTube because I was like, that was like the nervous like part of it because I was like, this can go anywhere. Anybody can watch this.
Yeah.
And once I got like my first 100 views, I was like, oh my God, I'm famous.
Oh yeah. Once I got my first, I remember the day I got my first 100 likes. That's so weird that you even remember things like that. But I remember, so in New York, I was in school. I was in college already. I was already. I was too old to be worried about this. Now that I think about it. But it was my freshman year of college, and you remember like 2014, like Tumblr was still like it was like the thing still. Absolutely. Like it was like the cool kids on social media were like the Tumblr kids. So there was this girl. Yeah. Her name. Shout out to Diana.
Come on.
She was like this cool Tumblr girl. We just we gravitated towards each other. And she was like, oh, let's take a picture. And I was like, oh, yeah, send it to me. I sent it, posted it. I got my first 100 likes.
You was like, oh my God. Famous. Yeah, no, seriously.
Like, it's over for everybody.
You couldn't tell me anything.
I went viral.
Yeah, I have 100 views. Who are you? I told my friends on my blog, I was like, I have 100 views on my video. And they're looking at me like, oh my God.
And isn't that weird that now I feel like you put such a, like, no matter how far you come, you always put such a big emphasis on that because even for me, like, I'm just like, oh, this could have done better. And it's like, then I have to remind myself, like, okay.
Bitch, remember where you were.
And remember when you wished that you could even
somebody
get a tenth of this.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Talk about it.
So it's interesting to me to see even when we both first moved here to like now and seeing, where you've gone and kind of where I've gone and how it's evolved. You know what I mean?
Bitch, but you have evolved. Because I remember when I first moved here. No, dead ass. No, bitch, you have evolved, honey. Because when I first moved here, you had a campaign under your belt. I knew your face before I even knew who you were. Because I was in Sephora and I said, bitch, that.
Let's talk about that.
Can we?
People forget about it.
I don't. I will never forget about that, bitch. I was in Sephora.
Forever.
Makeup forever. I was in Sephora. This is before I moved to LA. And I remember seeing you with a group of people, but you were the only like black boy up there. And I was like,
at that time, that like boys, period, weren't a thing.
Boys, period.
Like even like the kind of burgeoning group of boys still weren't doing campaigns.
No. Talk about that, bitch. Yeah. Put that out there because you were literally not even on social media like that. You were just a pretty face that was already on commercial shit.
I got that email. I had like 7,000 followers. And I got it. I thought it was fake.
That's how it be.
I thought it was fake. I was like, why do they want me on this campaign?
Same thing.
But I mean, sure. Okay. And then I remember the moment that I realized it was real was when I went to their offices and they sat down with me and I was like, and no shade, but thinking back on it, like the way that they treated me, like was with respect.
Yeah.
Because I think that now the market has become so saturated.
Talk about it.
That they know that, there's always going to be kind of someone else that they could use over you. But at the time, I was like, that was the money that got me to LA.
I remember. And I remember you telling me like, bitch, I did makeup forever. And I was like, that's where I know you from. I was like, I remember your face. I literally seen your face on there. And I was like, bitch, you have been my face in real life. And that's so crazy. Because I remember saying out loud to my friend, Casey at the time, I said, wow, look at these people, they beautiful. And I said, there's a boy up there. And I was just so flabbergasted that was a boy on like Sephora's displays. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cute. Moved along. Like a couple months later, bitch, I moved out to LA and this bitch is in my face.
So
crazy.
Weird. That's weird.
Bullshit you not. So and to see you now making your own shit, this is insane because in my mind, I feel like I think the social media world kind of like look at beauty as like the thing that like if you make it or you don't, and if you like if you're not like James Charles or if you're not like Jackie Aina, then who are you kind of thing.
It doesn't matter what you've accomplished.
Yeah, they don't care.
And I think like I mean you're my guest, so I don't want to make it too much about me.
No,
but I think that it's interesting to hear this from an outside perspective because
I'm not in beauty.
I also feel like, and I'm sure you could relate to this, it's almost like there's a higher expectation in what you do when you're Black.
Absolutely.
And you're in the entertainment industry or the beauty industry or whatever. Because I would see someone else do something that I've already done and it get rewarded and then it's like, which to a certain extent too, we have to kind of take accountability for our actions because I think I was a nut when I first got here. Like I was very rough around the edges.
Same.
And I think to a certain extent it was good because I was able to defend myself and
I think it kept us grounded in this mess.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with you, I think we had such a already grounded reality.
We were very honest with each other. Very honest.
And that's what we needed in this town. You know what I mean? I feel like that's why we wasn't really like so wrapped up in the shits because it was like, well, bitch. Girl, come on now. Like, and we always had those moments of like, nah, all right, girl. And I think I'm appreciative of those. So those rough around the edges days, I look back at those like, yeah, but you know what? You needed to have that though, because
remember we got into it a couple
times. But I feel like that's because, but to be honest though, if we take it back to those times, it was almost like really a big miscommunication.
It was a lot of ego.
And a lot of miscommunication and a lot of, where can I say this? A lot of telling the story to favor somebody else's perspective. And I was like, oh, damn, that makes me look like the biggest idiot because I love taking ownership to that. Dead ass. Because, to grow though, you have to make those, you have to call yourself out on yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be I'm so real and I'm so this.
Bitch, and you can't even notice your mistakes.
I'm like, wait a minute. Like, how am I gonna hold everyone else accountable and not me? That's the true authenticity is when you can hold yourself. And
that's what I was doing. That's what I was going through. And I actually, to be honest with you, bitch, I give you that because I'm actually happy I went through that little moment because
I'm grateful for everything.
I so dead ass because for me, one, it taught me not to mind people's business. One, two, to also listen to, if you really care about these people, to listen to everybody's story and to understand what's really going on instead of just taking one person's side because you may favor that person.
Or even to a certain extent, if you just don't want to be involved, that's okay.
That's okay too. That's okay too.
You know,
if you don't want to say shit, that is okay.
Because some people can't handle conflict.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
And I had to realize that too.
Don't be that person that can't handle conflict and then not mind your business.
Oop-tea.
Because that happens a lot. I feel like people get into the middle of situations and then they just can't handle the heat.
Yep. That's exactly how it is.
Well, you put yourself in there. You
did
put
this.
yourself in there.
You did this yourself.
Because I'm all about like we can meet there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't always have to go there.
And have you noticed, I don't know if it's like the older we've gotten, the more it's one, exhausting to go there. And then two, it's just like, but why?
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm so at peace where it's like if you pull me out of that, then bitch, you really had to shake me up at this point. Because for those moments back then, one wasn't even my situation, so I shouldn't even got that upset. But you can even pay me to get that upset now. Like I'll be like,
I mean,
girl, come on now.
Me, it's like I'm still a work in progress. I'm not gonna sit here. I think I made a lot of progress.
Yeah.
But I think it's just something in me where it's like when I feel a certain way, I'm just a very passionate person. I'm very
That's a good way to say it. You're very
passionate.
Yeah.
Like, because for the most part, I think that people know when they're doing something wrong. And they're just so used to getting rewarded for bad behavior that it's like, okay, I'm going to be your example.
Ooh, and that's example. What it is.
So that maybe next time
you'll learn.
You're going to think twice before you do it. Even if you do it, you're going to be like, oh, hold on. Should I? Like, you know what I mean? Because I think that people get rewarded for bad behavior, especially in this industry.
Because I think it comes off as you want to almost say clout, or you almost want to say you get rewarded in ways of the attention that you wanted, maybe.
The drama.
And so, people thrive off drama. Still to this day, which is quite interesting to me. I never understood, I didn't know the drama world until I moved here, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I never knew about the drama.
Was it a thing? When we first moved out here, 2017.
Was the drama a thing?
Was it a thing?
Yeah. It wasn't what it is now, but actually, I remember back then, if you popped off in drama, you actually blow up from drama. That was actually a time where if you did do something, you would blow up. Now, oh girl, you're just a one post on the shade room and then who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's so much going on.
It's saturated. And even drama is saturated.
But also because people have realized not perspective, but the priorities of what their drama is in life. Like, we're in a fucking world pandemic, and if you give a fuck about whatever this bitch is talking about on Instagram, then something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you care about this bitch going with this bitch on the online, something's wrong with your life. Because I don't care. Like, I shouldn't, right now I have to worry about my family getting fed or not getting sick. You know what I mean? So I think that, to be honest, the pandemic or 2020 kind of altered the perspective of people digesting drama because it's almost exhausting. Like, for people like Jeffree Star that was thriving off of that shit, every time he posted it was drama. To now he's dwindling down because, bitch, who cares? Who honestly gives a shit? Honestly,
I think that everything that happened forces everyone to read the room. And I think that before, because we're still in an ongoing pandemic.
Yeah.
That's the tea.
Still in it.
It ain't done yet.
Hopefully 2021 to close it, bitch, but here we are.
It forced people to read the room.
It did.
Because even for me, I'm just like, does this really matter?
It doesn't.
Like, especially, you got to put yourself in the perspective of, people that don't do what we do. And sometimes we're in this box and in this world that's not real. It's not real. And that's why I think it's very important to hang out with people who don't do it.
Come on. Talk. Oh, I just had this conversation this morning.
Really?
Literally was just having a conversation this morning about dating and being with someone that's not in the industry.
You wouldn't date somebody in the industry?
No.
Really?
I never have.
Really?
Never have, never would. It's just nobody's one. I have. I do. I know.
Do you remember?
I remember both of them. Wow. At least the ones I know of in that old house. Yeah, I remember.
Child.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I feel like these are things that I haven't talked about in so long, but
I remember those times.
This is why I needed you to be my guest, because I was like, I need that. It's almost like a timeline.
It was. But now I look back at it, I'm like, no bitches, I feel wouldn't even be able to
No, I don't know what was going on. I think I was just almost lonely here.
But
I didn't know nobody.
Think about it though. Remember when we first got here, you were telling me how it felt almost alienated sometimes. Where you remember I remember we had a whole breakthrough where we were talking about how you felt you couldn't be yourself in this industry because you kept getting pointed as the bad guy or the one with the attitude. I remember that. That was such a thing. And I was like, that's so fucked up. And I told you not to really give a fuck. I was who gives a shit?
No, yeah.
Bitch, I feel that's what these brands want from you. You keep being who you are. And that's making your money, bitch. These industry girls, who cares?
Well, let's talk about that though, because I think that being authentically yourself is... You're playing the long game. You're playing the game where I'm here to stay. But I think that a lot of people want everything fast.
Yeah.
Especially this generation.
Think about it though.
Instant.
Literally, you can literally pull up Your favorite movie, buy it, and you can watch it within 5 minutes. Bitch, when we were growing up, we had to go to Blockbuster, goddamn Redbox, bitch. Like those like instant gratifications, we didn't really get till now. Mm-hmm. But these new kids, girl, they got it like it's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, bitch, if I can shade a girl, I could just act this bitch. I think and she'll know how I feel.
Experience of like instant gratifications, like AIM.
Yeah,
it was like AIM. Wow. Yeah, that was like
literally that
immediately.
Like Skype was for me. Skype and Vivo, like Uvo.
I was a MSN.
No, you was not an MSN.
I was a little weirdo.
You stayed on MSN? I was a little
weirdo because if you were like on MSN, like,
yeah, bitch,
you were like talking to people like on the other side of the world.
You were grown.
I had like my little like boyfriends in like England and stuff.
I did. I actually had. This is funny. Actually, people don't know this. I actually. Back in like 2011, I used to be on like Lady Gaga and like Beyonce chat rooms.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yes, fan chat rooms. Yes. This is like I'm still friends with some of these people to this day. Like follow them on Instagram and everything.
One of my little MSN boyfriends, we still talk. We still talk. No.
Yes, we're my MSN boyfriend.
Yeah, we were literally talking the other day actually, and I'm like, "Oh, how are you?"
That dead ass.
That's
like
so crazy.
It is insane.
I think that's the beautiful side of like social media is like, of course, I think it's easy to focus on the negative, but like, there's like people that you would have never met.
I literally, my boyfriend, I never would have met if it wasn't for social media.
Really?
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about like
what?
Dating and doing what you do? Ooh, like, is it? Yeah, was it tough before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was like I wanted it to be like a easy answer. Where it's like, no, it's so easy. It's And I don't even think it's like the fame part of it. It's really just more so the influential part of it. Like the status, I would say. Not really the fame, it's the status part of it. That's really weird. And the work that goes behind it. I think that, especially us being gay and, you know, my demographic is gay. So it kind of narrows it down to like a lot of people who don't know who you are. So it's like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. You either know me for being a Lady Gaga stan, a Beyonce stan, or you just know me in general.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I see you. I used your meme on Twitter. Like a lot of that, like it's irritating. I remember like downloading Tinder and shit. Like, oh, hey, what the fuck is T? Like, using my shit for my videos to acknowledge me was like, whoa, this is okay. Now this is becoming weird.
And it's almost like you just want to clock out.
Yeah, like, bitch, what if I want to get my free down? I ain't trying to think about this, you know? But okay, cute. But that's what kind of solidified it for me to be like, you know what? I don't want anybody in an industry because one, there's competition. Yeah. Two, there's like that ego thing where you feel like, well, bitch, my stuff is more important than yours. Yeah. I don't want none of that. I want to go home and I want to feel like you don't give a shit about what I do. Like, as far as you know, you care as far as like being supportive.
In all types of relationships.
Yeah. All of my relationships. Because all of them.
Even for me, sometimes, no shade. I know some of them are going to be watching this, but even sometimes we're like cousins and stuff like that. It's like, okay. Like, thank you. I love you. But I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about who I know. And I don't care. Like, when I go home.
Do you go home and have that? Like, do you have like, oh my God, Victor, are you the celebrity?
LA and I have that, okay? My home here where it's like anywhere, it's like, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not that I really don't care. It's more so I want to have like that getaway. Yeah. I don't want like I want to have that getaway. You know what I mean? Like I
want to breathe.
I want to just like completely indulge in like I love having a boyfriend that doesn't do what I do for real, but in some facet does.
Yeah.
And I get to hear about all that shit. It's like, okay, let me hear about what's going on in your life. You know what I mean? Like, so I can have like a whole different perspective of life. Because when you're just doing your shit all the time and when you're just like, you know, living in your circle of celebrityism kind of thing, it's like exhausting, one. And I feel like you almost get blinded by what's really going on in others, like people's reality.
Of course.
So it's actually grounding to have like someone that I can escape to, and then we can go into this bubble together and create this own bubble. And then I can go off and be Zach Campbell. Yeah. But when I'm at home, it's like, well, I'm just this guy's, you know, happiness. And that's all they're asking for. And I feel like when I did talk to people in the industry, if I try to like go there, it's so ego based, and it's so numbers and like and we can say that it's not, but it really is.
It is
like
it's very like classist and elitist.
Very classist. That's what I'm looking for.
It's like
very classist.
It's like you can only hang out with people at a certain like level
of your success,
and then it's like when you do make friends that are kind of, so to speak, on a higher level, for lack of a better way of saying it, a little bit more you're like kind of a mystery. You're kind of a mystery. If you know, it doesn't matter how talented you are, no nothing. It's just like, I'll acknowledge you when you're at my level.
Yeah, and I never wanted to be like labeled as a social climber. That was one of my biggest fears in LA. I was like, I never want to be like.
And those are the people that get rewarded. Those are the people that get rewarded.
But I always watch that, and I'm like, damn, this bitch about to really make it, because I know how she about to wiggle her wealth, her stuff up in there, and I'm like, bitch, do that. Like, I'm not hating on the game, you know what I'm saying? Because I know I could have did the same thing.
Yes.
But it's just like, what is the pride in that? You know what I mean? And what is like, when I go home at night and I look back on my catalog, not this bitch I social climbed off of, what makes me, you know what I mean? I want to have substance. You know what I mean? I want to be like, bitch, I worked for this. You can never say.
It's all about like being good with yourself. Because I think with a lot of these people, yeah, you have the numbers, but that's why you're so miserable. Ooh. Because it's like honestly, like no shade, like you're miserable because one, when you move a certain way in life, I don't get why people don't click.
Yeah,
like it's not rocket science.
No, it's not.
But when you move a certain way in life, you know, it always catches up.
Absolutely, as it should.
Even the stuff that I've done.
Same.
The stuff that I've done, because
you know my karma. You literally seen my karma.
You've seen stuff with me where it's like, I'm sure you're like, no shade, girl, but like,
but almost, to be completely honest with you, I really feel like you're one of the realest people, and still to this day. No, dead ass. Like, you've been the same Vic I've known since 2017, and the only thing that's changed is maybe a bank account, I would say, but like
that, and you know, a little bit of the attitude.
Yeah,
I think that I came out here with. On the defense.
You did.
On the defense.
I do remember that.
On the defense.
You did.
Always
on defense. You always thought someone was either coming for you.
Me.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
No, like, it was 90%.
But can we talk about it? Like, there's some fabrications, but there's some times where it was like real life. Where it was like, I agree with that bitch. Was low-key coming for you, bitch.
I agree.
But also because you were the young face, you were the fresh face, you were the new girl on the block. I was
like the only black boy at the time. It was honestly me and Kenneth that were doing beauty
and being melanated,
and the only one in those spaces.
Yep, and the commercial spaces at that.
Yeah, and in pretty much all the spaces.
Yeah,
when it comes to that, so it was like I always had to be on the defense, I think, to a certain extent.
I remember when we used to go to those parties and go to those like events, and I would look around, and this is why I hated when we were not talking, because when we used to go to those events, and I would go with Kenneth, and I would go see these things, I'm like, damn, we're really the only fucking black people
and
here.
And the only people having fun.
And the only ones dancing and drinking. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is so stupid. This is so stupid. But at that time, you know, egos and bullshit was in the way. But it was just like, if you think about it, bitch, at that time, who else was there? You know what I mean? Who else was represented for our people? You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, but also.
Do you want to talk about like the moment that we made up?
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay, fun fact. This is when I was like growing as a person. Yeah. Because this was like so unlike me. But I know so when we all kind of had a falling out, if we want to speak honestly, it was
absolutely.
Like the group, the core group,
it was on the internet, so bitch, I'm sure y'all know.
Yeah, it was on the internet.
It was out there at the time.
You, Kenneth, Cameron, and I. It was like that group. And I know it's so weird to talk about this because it's like I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything.
Let me tell you, and I want to put this out there. I have respect for. I respect the girls. I respect everybody.
3 of y'all, and I'm just gonna be honest.
Oh, T, but you have reasons, bitch.
Okay,
but I do respect I respect everybody we're talking about. Because like I know a lot of people say that me and Kenneth are not close, and you know we're not as close as we used to be at all. But we have talked. You know, I want to tell you that, by the way. I'm happy talking to you guys. We have talked since the whole situation.
Good. That makes me happy.
And I'm really happy about it. And we've come to like a nice close where we're not like if we see each other, we'll be very much, hey girl, what's up? How you doing? Let's chop it up.
We can relate on something that nobody can relate to.
That's the thing. And plus, me and Kenneth have went through so much in life, and like in these like 3 years that we were here.
Yeah.
And it was just like I don't want to just be like, we never had anything. That's like so ungenuine of me.
Yeah.
I could very much, we're not I don't have like that same like heart feeling like I used to because like life happens and things happen. But like I still want that bitch to like be successful and I want to see that bitch at the top, all of that. And I think that one thing I hate about when black gays or like just people of color get into it in the industry, they kind of like want to alienate each other and like kind of put each other down.
That's why I want to talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm like,
there's no
that.
examples of people like us that can make up and be cordial.
Come on now.
And
support each other at that.
Non-black people capitalize off of that. Because when Kenneth and I stopped being friends, it was like, oh, dude, I heard that he said this. And I'm the type of person, I'm like, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? And I think at one point it got to me. And that was the night that I tweeted something, I think, to I'm not even gonna say
Miss Girl. Yeah.
We're not even gonna say his name.
Yeah.
And it was on defense of Cameron. And then that's when I think I had enough. Yeah. Like it was a breaking point. And within that time, we would see each other at events and it was just lot. Tension. Like even with me, it was tension. Remember Mac? I think 2018.
Yes, it was tension,
and it was like
tension.
What's good, bitch?
Tension. but to be honest, and that's what makes I don't hate myself, but I regret that time of myself because I look back. I was young too, but still, that's not an excuse. I still think that I had what am I talking about? And I think I was so in defense of Kenneth.
Loyal friend.
And I was like, I just didn't like seeing Kenneth hurt. And I was just like, well, okay, well, I don't want to just sit here like a lump on a log.
The other one.
T.
That was me with the other one.
But at the same time, I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, it's really not my problem at all. You know what I mean? And I had no underlying problem with you. So I was like, I don't know where I'm pulling this from.
You know what? I honestly hated that we were kind of like almost like the pit bulls in the situation, but I think that is why
you talking.
That's why you got involved because
I knew who you were.
Also, you weren't afraid to go there.
Yeah,
it was like me.
But I knew. I'm telling you, I knew that the other person had you. So I was like, oh well.
But then in my head, I was like, okay, if I don't say nothing to him, maybe he'll get it.
Yeah, probably.
Because I should have got it from that. Like for me, like it's not that I was scared or anything.
No,
it was just like
you paid me, bitch. Like, you paid it.
I'm cool with
you him. Paid me
I
dust
did.
every single. I'll put that on record. Every single time. I told this bitch she was tired.
I still haven't opened your voice.
Lord Jesus. I told this girl, I said she was tired. She didn't play him. Bitch. I went off on Victor so many times on voicemail, I believe, just for no reason. And it's just like
it wasn't hateful. It was just
it was defensive.
It was in the good intention of defending your friend because you knew how fiery I was.
Yeah.
So you were like,
but I thought I knew the situation.
Like you were probably like, damn, like keep calm because I was really going to these spaces where we would see each other, and you know, I
you
was
ready?
Dead wrong. Because at that event, that was my fault because I remember I don't know why I was on one that night, but Kenneth he passed right by me and I went boom.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I looked right back.
I remember that. Jesus, I remember this.
I looked right back like, huh?
Oh,
like, what are you gonna do?
I said, what are we about to do here? What is gonna happen? But I'm happy nothing really happened.
And you sang that song. You were like, so I do you remember what song it is? Because I don't remember what song you were singing over. But let's say
something antagonized you. I know that.
Oh, it was you said it was something.
It was something antagonizing.
You said was good, bitch.
Yeah, it was something.
That's where it ended. And I don't know. Like it was like, you know what, like the locks start to like it's like activating. It was like
you turned around, you said, bitch, okay, listen, because this is the only time you gave me attention. This is the only time. The only time that she paid me ever since. That bitch turned around and said, okay, girl, all right, what we doing?
To escalate.
And I was like, all right, this is what I needed. And I was just, but you know, to be honest with you, if we would have fought, do you know how stupid and how mad I would have been? To be like completely honest, I wouldn't feel like I won or you won anything.
I think whenever you fight, you always kind of do feel stupid.
Yeah, afterwards. Like the fuck was that about? Yeah. Especially for something that had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Do you know how stupid I would have been like, okay, girl, no. Because like I said, before all of that, me and you were kicking it. That's like I was. Yeah. You was my girl. Yeah. So I was like, I was pulling this literally from Kenneth and like being like, well, I feel like this and this is what he felt like. So maybe, okay, you know what? There's truth to that. Sure. So I'm just backing my friend up, you know? So every time I had a chance to back him up, and other boy up, I was like, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. And I'm like, for something that nobody, because to be honest, in LA, do you know that was the only drama I've had since living in LA? I've never had. I'm not a drama.
You're such a happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah, bitch, like, I'm on my business.
I've never seen you go after somebody. Mm-mm. I don't even really hear you talk about people. Like, I don't talk about it. Like, you're just like, let's have fun. You're that type of person. You're very like.
So all of that was just like, okay, Zach, girl, you really just showed your Detroit ass for no reason.
I lived for it. I lived for it. I live for that energy because it's like, defend yourself. Yeah. Good. I love this.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, to a certain extent, it kind of bothers me that sometimes people don't stand up to me because it's like, I'm not like this axe murderer.
You're not. But but one thing about you, you're very honest. Yeah. And a lot of people can't take that though.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, bitch, you're very, Victor will tell
and you. And that's why I'm podcasting.
Victor will tell you how
I feel.
You feel, but also what somebody needs to hear. Mm-hmm. And you do it in a way of like, well, bitch, listen, at this point, I don't know what to tell you, and you need to hear like this.
No shame.
And people can't take that. And some people take that defensively, and some people take that you're being rude. And I feel like if you knew who you were as a person, that you're so like this, you're literally this biggest, like this big heart, sweetheart person, will do anything for you.
I love people.
Literally anything. So
I don't love people. I love my people.
Yeah.
That's my people.
There you go. There you go. You love who you respect and who loves you. And I think that's what that's why we can come back so easily. Do you know, does it make sense?
Yeah.
That's why it wasn't hard for us to be like, oh, bitch, okay, girl, I don't care.
Because even just going back so I had approached Kenneth, actually. And I was like, let's talk, because I remember, like, it was like me against like 5 people.
Yeah.
Because the other one was just sitting back.
Girl.
They were sitting back, which is fine. Yeah, because not everyone's meant to, do that. But I remember you guys were even on the defense, and then we spoke. We apologized. Yeah. We took that picture together. Yeah. It's so messy, so stupid. Stupid. But I wanted to talk about it, not to give tea or anything, but I think to see how you can move forward. And it doesn't matter how you're raised or you can grow as a person, because I think we're all in a space where, even though one out of the group, I'm not necessarily, I don't care the most for
at
him.
all.
We have to exist in a space where we respect one another, because they not living for us.
Come on. And that's the thing. That's what made me realize that this is, and I want to speak even on behalf of Kenneth, why we never brought any of our business forward when we were not as friends.
Well, I'm glad you guys learned from that situation.
Learn from that situation, but also learn that it's not worth being the fuel of each other's name to drag it through the mud. And then now these other people have something to laugh at and talk about on account of us. That doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, bitch, if we can't handle it behind the scenes, then why are we bringing it on the scene for?
And those are the times where you really see how true the friendship
Come on now.
Because when somebody is hating on you,
they do everything.
The first second that they can, they're going to try to expose you.
Come on now.
And not even like expose you, because if you gonna expose me, say the truth.
Tell my truth, bitch.
Just don't lie on me.
Just if you gonna do it,
because
let me know.
Now I'm in a space where I'm defending myself against lies, which is a waste of time. And that's why you're doing it. You want to distract me.
Yeah.
You want, and this is not towards anyone. This is in general.
Just in general,
You know what I mean?
And
so I think that's so important. Like we moved on from it, and we can exist in a space.
You have to. And I think that makes us, but also if you look at it like, well, bitch, if you couldn't grow from this, if you couldn't become better, then what does that say about you as a person? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like you said, that's a really good thing you said. Like it does attest to the friendship where it's like now, bitch, you wouldn't catch me saying anything bad about Kenneth publicly, like to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, his name is terrible, like this and the third. Because I was with that bitch. Too. That's what I'm saying. Like that was what I say about you, bitch? Because you was with the bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I'm really happy that we could talk behind the scenes and mend things and make sure that we still have that respect for each other. Where, bitch, if you need something, let me know. And vice versa, boom, 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 it's good. But it is unfortunate where it's like, that's the thing about this city, I will say, and it's not even just me and my friendships, just in general, where it is unfortunate where you do, I guess maybe just in life, not just this city, I would say. I guess just in life, in your 20s.
Everywhere, but
it's really
a special place.
It's really magnified here because we're all in this bubble together. Mm-hmm. But I will say, just through your 20s, I think that you do outgrow people. And it's for the best and it's for the worst. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's for the best where you need to lose that person, no shade, to be better. Because sometimes that person could still weigh you down, maybe still have doubts about things. And sometimes you have to spread your butterfly wings and fly. And that's why I say for the better. You know what I mean? And then there's for the worst, where you feel like you can't talk to that person again and it's tired as a chop, never again. And sometimes could be for the better. You know what I'm saying? But I think you have to differentiate. There we go. Between which one is better, you know what I'm saying? Which one is really worth, which one did you do? Which one is better for you? You know, so it is crazy how it's a
therapy session.
It is at this point.
It's a therapy session.
Because I guess because that's what's new with me this year.
Yeah,
it's so many breakthroughs. I've had so many you know what? I'm happy from that. I'm actually healed from that. I'm actually okay with that because I feel like if I hold these grudges and hold all this hate or this, I need to prove this bitch wrong. I want to expose this. If you hold all that, bitch, it makes you look miserable. It makes you feel bad inside. And I don't want to feel like that, bitch. And I don't want no bitch to feel like I don't want to feel like I have any power over anybody because I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not that girl.
And I don't want to be perfect.
Come on.
We all make mistakes.
Everybody's not fucking perfect.
And we all live in glass houses. And the moment that you'll forget about something, and when you try to be vindictive, especially
and that should have come right back.
There will be that one person that you didn't even think about that will be like,
bitch, last time I checked.
Domino effect.
Here you go.
You know?
Yeah.
So, it's not worth it.
It's not.
Just be a decent person. I think what people need to learn as well too. You don't have, just because you're not friends doesn't mean you have to be evil. Necessarily enemies.
Come on.
And just be nasty.
And be nasty. For what?
Nasty.
For what?
I mean?
For what? Because I want to know what does that bring you joy, and why does that bring you any type of validation? Because I'm more snooty, I'm more nasty, I'm throwing more shade than you, bitch. For what? Girl, you look crazy and tired.
And I think that's why I was always quick with the. All right, let's fight. Because I don't
at that point, you might as well just go there. You know what I'm saying? No, real ass. You know what I'm saying? Just bitch, we might as well just scrap it out at this point. But I just feel like anybody, even in Hollywood or just my real life back at home, it's just I've outgrown so many people, unfortunately, I would say, but also fortunately, because some people can't see the vision that you see beyond them. And some people fall in love with the old versions of you too. I realize that too. Some people will fall in love with the old versions of you and be like, oh, bitch, you went upgraded when you had an update. I didn't know you had an update. Okay, well, and they try to tailor themselves to that new version of you, but sometimes it doesn't click, and that's okay.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just well, bitch, I'll catch you on the other side when you get it together, or if you get it together. And if I don't know, I gotta go, girl, I gotta go.
No shade. I feel like we did a deep dive
on
the personal side.
But I'm glad because we're honest, and I think that
there's nothing to hide.
I have literally nothing to hide. And one thing about me is I don't live my personal life on camera or really tweet or say anything about my personal life. So I guess getting a glimpse of my personal life through things is nice, and I'd rather do it with a friend. You know what I mean? That went through the same shit I went through. Yeah, and that was there when I went through it. We grew up together. We literally grew up in this shit together. So I feel comfortable to be able to say that.
When you moved here?
I was 23.
I was 20. I was 20.
Wow. I'm gonna be 27, bitch.
I'm gonna be 25.
Wow! Fuck! Shit! Wow! I'm gonna be 25. Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. And I remember we have been through so much as far as the accomplishments we've made. It's just bitch, I remember dreaming about these moments that we the rooms that we've been in with people. I remember being oh, I hope one day. And then it just happens.
We're kind of jaded.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
We are no longer the new girls on the block. No longer.
We're the old girls. They got their
It's a whole new, it's a new group of girls. It's a whole new pack. But I'm glad though, honestly. That pressure of being a new bitch is not cute. It's fun.
It's so hard.
It is very now the new bitches I feel bad for.
It's so hard.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. These new girls, I mean, well, they got TikTok, so I mean, I guess.
Yeah, but that's a gamble.
Oop-tee. It's because I don't see a lot of people of color making it on TikTok.
No shade.
Or at least they make it, but they don't transfer it. And that's what's irritating.
And going back to, so the girls be on TikTok and all of that. But going back to when you started, what was the moment that you like it was like the moment.
The moment, like when I knew that traction was going to happen.
Traction was going to happen. Yeah.
The first moment that I knew was when Lady Gaga posted me on littlemonsters.com.
When was that?
This was 2013, and 2013.
Oh, you were early.
Yeah, when Our Pop and Applause happened, and I did a reaction to Applause because I freaked out. And this is when reaction wasn't even a thing yet. I remember just OG. Like, yeah, low key, and I was just like. So I was like, should I just record myself, listen to the song? I don't know where I had that idea from. I never seen it on YouTube. So I was like, well, let me just record myself.
It was God.
Yeah, that was definitely God.
He was guiding.
Definitely God. Went downstairs in my parents' apartment, basement, filmed it, freaked out, uploaded it. And I went back to it, and I didn't think about it. I didn't think about nothing about it. I went back to it the next day and it had 20,000 views. I said, okay. No, and this is no cat, bitch. I'm used to 100, 200 views, you know? So I closed my laptop, I posted, don't even think about it. I wake up the next morning, 20,000 views, like 100 and some likes and 500 comments. I said, is this my channel, bitch? I started freaking out. I called my grandmother. I said, girl, I'm famous for real, for real. Aww. And then after that, Gaga found the video, put it on her website, so it then blew up to 100K. And so after that, E! News had reached out to me and was like, and I was in college at this point. I went back home. I went back to school. School was starting. And it was right after the VMAs. And she did the VMA performance. So E! News reached out to me and was like, can we put your video on E! News and have you come on and speak on E! News? Like, remember the soup on E?
Yeah.
I was on that.
With, what's his name?
I forgot his name. But I forgot his name.
They'll know.
Yeah. I was on the soup. And that shit was like insane. Like being there and like being
so you came to LA.
No, I was on Skype. Nobody flew me out yet.
I feel like that wasn't a thing yet.
No, that was very much Skype me in. Yeah. And then after that, Lady Gaga herself was like, this guy is absolutely hilarious. Because I kept making videos and just kept talking about her era at that time. And so
what a time.
Right? The BBC was like, reached out for Graham Norton, was like, well, Gaga's coming on the show.
I love that show.
Love that show.
I'm mad they don't air it here.
Yeah, because it's such a good talk show, right? Show. Like, it's a really good talk show.
It's a very good, like, concept.
Love that. Like, having all the different celebrities and have them talk, beautiful. And so Graham was like, you know, Gaga's coming on the show. We'd love to have you come on and speak to her. I said, no, bitch, this is too much. I'm in my college dorm. Like, are you fucking serious? So I do that. Me and Gaga had like a lot of moments off camera, like talking and whatever. And then they was like, we're about to film.
She seems genuinely like invested in people that
there's some celebrities
that not only care about her, but that she cares.
There's some celebrities I do not co-sign and be like, oh my God, yes. But that woman right there, and I was just having the moment recently with her, and I'm like, bitch, you're an Oscar award winner. You can really be a bitch if you wanted to, and I will be okay with it. I was just like, she's so human. I was like, how can I comprehend how human you are when you accomplish all these things? And this bitch is smaller than you. This bitch is smaller than
me feel like a bitch.
No, seriously, like bitches smaller than you are rude. And I'm like, they have no right at this point because she's so like the humane woman that you see on camera, like on doing like the charity shit. She's that, but like think of a big sister. On someone behind or off camera, it's very like raw and like talking to you like Stephanie damn near.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this bitch really got one wisdom about this industry like a bitch. It also, if she believes in you, she really fucks with you. But then that's the same thing with B. Beyonce is the exact same way. Her team is like crazy. Like, whoa.
Because your Formation reaction video like blew up too.
That's
right?
That's the thing. And this, to be completely honest with you, I have like Gaga and Beyonce and Rihanna, but Gaga and Beyonce for sure were the two women I paid attention to the most through high school. I didn't pay attention to nobody else. Like I loved everybody else, but like those two girls I stand. So to have them come back around and be like this is before YouTube. I wasn't even on YouTube talking about them. I was just loving, I was buying CDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then to be like, when I finally do talk about them publicly, to them to reach out to me was like one of the most like 360 moments. Yeah. Like, wow, that's insane. I believe the manifestation at that point. Like, the more you put stuff out, it will come back to you. So after the Gaga thing, after the Gaga thing, it blew up. My YouTube channel had like 20, 30K at that point. And I'm just like bubbling, you know, I'm just doing my little thing in college. I was like, my parents didn't let me like.
What were you studying?
Mass comm. So I was already doing what I was doing anyway, right?
Yeah.
So my parents didn't let me drop out because I wanted to. I was like, bitch, I'm ready to go. No shit. They were like, no, girl, you ain't making enough money from this yet. So calm it down. I was like, okay.
I'll drop down.
And as I was getting ready to graduate college, I got an email, like you thought the Makeup Forever, Makeup Forever, you thought it was fake. Thought that the Parkwood Entertainment situation was fake. I said, girl, okay, now I know y'all fucking with me because Parkwood Entertainment gonna email. How y'all gonna find how y'all know about me? I just paid it, and then one day I said,
you didn't respond?
No, I completely paid it. I said,
was it like in the junk?
No.
Also, that was
I paid it though, because I'm like, bitch, no.
I wonder what they were thinking.
Because I'm thinking
they were probably like.
Imagine you get an email. You're in college, bitch. I'm at a laundromat. I'm loading up. I'm finding quarters to put.
I literally see it.
You know what I'm saying? You get an email. Parkwood Entertainment. We want to speak to you, girl. Oh,
is that all it said?
No. It was like it was like a thing. It was an intro. Yeah. It was like, we want to speak to you. Do you have time? Type thing. Yeah. And I'm like, girl, whatever. Paid it. As my ex at the time was like, yo, just see what it's talking about, because they kept persistent, bitch. I was like, okay, well, let me see. I called that number.
Beyonce will not be ignored.
Okay? And that's one of those funny part. How about, I didn't know until I responded to the email. They found my college email, my Facebook, my Instagram. That's how she found the baby pictures. Oh, bitch, how you find my college email? That's not even public information. Beyonce's team is powerful, bitch. Yeah. So they found that shit. And so I just called them and was like, okay, I'm just calling this number to see. She said the lady picked up. She was like, oh, hold on, I gotta transfer you to my boss. Transfer me to the boss. It's Beyonce's team in Parkwood, like the woman that handles all the bookings.
Why is my heart beating so fast?
Bitch, my heart was beating fast. As she picks up the phone and she says, Mr. Campbell? I said, yeah. She said, oh, we've been waiting for you. I'm like, whoa, okay. Well, what's up, bitch? How you doing? You know, I'm still defensive. Like, this girl, I don't believe it. She said, so yeah, I know this is a really weird thing. But Beyonce saw your videos on YouTube. She found you on YouTube, and she would like to use a video that we found on the tour. I said, no, bitch, now hold up. Now, this is like months before the tour was, like, it was like months, like 6 months before the tour came out. So she was working on it already. So I was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Because I thought it was fake, because I'm like, the tour not till like months away, but then that made me think like, oh, well, maybe, it does take months to make a tour, so that makes sense.
And it's Beyonce.
And it's B, so of course this bitch is working months and months before. So I said, I guess, girl. I don't know. She said, well, how about we do this? Because she could tell I was uncertain in my voice. Yeah. She said, how about I send you, email you the contract, you read it over, and you call me back. I said, yeah, you do that. Period. Hang up the phone. She sends the contract. I said, man, let me see what this is going to be, a fake ass Word doc. Bitch, open that up, girl. Parkwood across. I scroll. Beyonce's name is already signed at the bottom. I said, I know that signature, bitch. That ain't she didn't press it on. That was very much a signature. Yeah. I said, oh shit. I literally started bawling. I bawl like I called her back. Cry for you. I called back. She said, are you okay? I said, no. And she said, yeah, I know. She's like, I know this really sounds, she was like, she just kept saying, I know this really seems like not real at all. And she was like, we just want to make sure, we want to see like the release forms and like how, the process of releasing the video to Beyonce. Yeah. And I did all that. And I remember I was at the movies and the fucking tour premiered while I was in the movie theater, bitch. I'm just the show was like, I think in like Columbus or something or somewhere else where the time was different. I was like, I forgot where it was at, but the time was different from where I was. Yeah. So I'm in the movies just like having a good time. My phone Twitter just and my Twitter was like not existent for that time. Yeah. So I was like, what's going on? My Instagram just started to go. I had like 5K on Instagram at that day. Literally just go. I looked at my phone. I said, we have to go. We have to leave. I think it happened. I get outside, I'll pull up everything, and I just drop to my knees in the middle of this lobby, and like the like movie theater lobby. The people are concerned because I'm like stopping like the line and everything. Fall to my knees, like I'm on Beyonce's tour, and everybody's like taking pictures and shit of me in the lobby, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I'm like, "No, that's actually my face." So after this premieres, and I'm like, I stayed up all night, I stayed up all night. I got up to like 10K at that point on Instagram. And I was like, oh my God, fucking what the fuck? They called me again, bitch, the next week. They called me back. And they said, so Beyonce loves your part so much. This is supposed to be a one-off thing. Yeah. Beyonce loves your part so much. She wants to know if she can make this a part of the whole show for the rest of the season. I said, so you mean to tell me every show that this bitch goes to, I'm going to be at, technically? And they were like, oh, yeah. Beyonce found me herself, she didn't have her team. She was on YouTube. Beyonce loves social media. So she always on YouTube.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah, people don't know that, but that bitch loves YouTube. She loves YouTube. So she found my channel, bitch, on YouTube and was like, I'll need that guy. I wasn't even that big on YouTube. I was like, I had like 30, 40, 50K subscribers at that time. Not nowhere near where I'm at now. So that bitch was like just loving, she had to just love what she saw. Because the video itself didn't have that many views. You know what I'm saying? So my effect is falling down. Ooh. And so...
There you go.
My effect is falling down. If you're a ballroom girl, you know what that mean, honey. Do you know what that mean? But so they asked me to, to extend the shit. They sent the contract over for that. Mm-hmm. I said, oh, hey, well, girl. Well, now we're talking, bitch. I said, oh, I was in college too? Mm-hmm. I said, oh, bitch, now this is gonna be sickening, honey.
Yeah.
And that, I signed those papers, got the check for that, and my life completely changed from that point on. And do you know, Beyonce, I just said, let me just see what I can say. I said, do you think Beyonce would give me a ticket to go to the show? Banshee, bitch. I said, the worst they can say is no.
No shade.
So she said,
you are a part of the show.
That's what I'm saying. So she said, well, usually Beyonce doesn't really give free tickets out, so we don't know, but we'll ask her and we'll double check with you. Mm-hmm. They called me back that same day, bitch. I thought it was gonna be like weeks later. Same day. Call me back. You'll never believe this. She said, you'll never believe this. Beyonce said she wants you to be her personal guest. I said, shut the fuck up. I want to go.
Why do I hear Beyonce in her like Houston accent? Be my guest. like I literally heard it. Like while you're telling me, I see it. I
can see that. Like she literally fucking told them that wanted me to be the guest, and I wanted to be at my Detroit home show, which was like I think her last show of the tour anyway. So I was like, I want to be at my hometown. I want to be there when everybody, because like all my families want to come and shit. Like I wanted to have like that moment. Do you know? I just expected just some tickets and like just to go and like just be really normal. Baby, they said, no, you get those tickets at Will Call. I said, Will Call? What the fuck is that? They said, go to the family and friends section and you ask for your tickets at the family and friends booth, where basically her people she invited will go. I said, shut the fuck up. So I go. I'm thinking, all this still unreal. So I'm thinking like my name's not gonna be on the list. I'm thinking like I'm just wasting my time. My name's not gonna be on the list. I'll pull up, they took my ID. They had an envelope for my name ready for me. Bitch, here's your shit. As they hand me my shit, how about a security guard comes around? Let me escort you to your seats, please. I said, a security guard, bitch, escorts me not to a regular old seat up the... Bitch, this bitch gave me the seat front row with the padded seat, the one that you sit on courtside, bitch.
Like the good movie.
The good seats, bitch. She's right there. The dancers come out from right. Everybody, I can see everything. So everybody.
This is the formation tour. So this is the first thing you saw. Literally all of that. But I'm so close to that bitch. I'm behind. I'm over the barricade, bitch. Like I'm right there. Bitch, Beyonce comes out. I didn't think this was gonna even see me or anything. We Run the World Girls, because that's the second song she performed was Run the World Girls after formation. Yeah. I'm doing all the choreography. I'm forgetting that she's right there, but I'm like looking at her like, yeah, bitch, I'm doing it. Like, I mean, fucked up. Yeah, this is my time. Do you know that bitch stopped and like was like, oh my God, that's you. And like, every time I go back to the Detroit show, it's the Detroit show on YouTube. I watch all the time for my own self. And she was just like, bitch, yes. Like, she was like so happy to see me. And I was like, I literally froze like, oh, bitch, I think it's gonna see me. But I'm writing her vision, so I don't know. I didn't think that, but that was like, because it's Beyonce.
Yeah, because I'm like, but you got 60,000 people here watching you, bitch. Who the fuck you care about me? You know what I'm saying? But she did that not once, not twice, but 3 times. Come over to my area and just dance with me and like have a good time and like make sure I had a good time. And her team made sure I had the best time. Like I had left with like towels and all this shit from the Formation World Tour that you only can get if you like on the tour type shit. Yeah. And it was just really one of the most magical nights. And to like now to speak, like, what's that, 4 years ago? To speak now and to say that I'm even closer to her and her team, that attests to her and Jay-Z being who they are on screen as far as like promoting Black people and people of color. They really put where their mouth with their money is. When I say they've been the most supportive people, like, if I need something, her publicists have been with her for 25 years, Miss Yvette, shout out to you. She has been with Beyonce's corner. She's been in Beyonce's corner for like since Beyonce was Beyonce. This woman, we text, we talk. She's like a mentor to me. about this industry, and like she makes sure I'm good about things. Like if I have a contract I'm not sure about, and I'm just like, what the? That's insane. And they tell me to like Beyonce flew me out for On the Run. Mm-hmm. So the shows didn't stop after this point. Yeah. Now at this point, every time the concerts come around, I get to go to the concerts and shit, right? Mm-hmm. So I went 3 times. Uh-huh. 2 on her dime, 1 on mine, but I was on a brand deal actually, which was crazy. And
so not on your dime.
Not on my dime at all. But I had to drive myself. So, but the other times with Beyonce, like, yeah, just come to the show, whatever. Yeah. And when she flew me for the On the Run tour. I went to Miami with my friends. Yeah. And she flew me from Miami to I think the first American show was in Ohio. Mm-hmm. Private car, stayed at the Hyatt at the presidential fucking level. All of this shit is happening, and I'm like, first of all, I have no money in my Who am I? Like, who am I? You know what I mean?
It be like that. When you experience things like that, like it's usually times where it's like, how am I experiencing this at this point
in my life? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking I needed 2 million subscribers, and I needed this, that, and the third. I'm not even verified on social media. So I'm like, I needed all of that before this happens. And it's like, no, you don't. Mm-hmm. You need to just be yourself. And when I went there to have her fans, when I came across the barricade, go crazy, that's Zach, bitch. People like moms are coming up to me like, can my daughter take a picture with you, please? Who the fuck am I? You know what I'm like, bitch, I'm just Zach Campbell from fucking Detroit that just loves music, bitch. And I think still to this day, I tell my boyfriend all the time, this fame, it's really not, it's hard to get used to. Mm-hmm. It's one thing I can never get arrogant about. Like, I'm still trying to find, I've had some really blessed times of success. Mm-hmm, so I've tasted what you can get. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out, how do bitches get so full of themselves where they lose sight of, 1, who they are, or 2, the people that have been supporting them, or like they want to be around the fame so much that they lose the friends that they had before the fame. I'm like, how do you get that?
I think I can attest to that, and I can give you your answer. I think you're honestly someone who's very comfortable with yourself, and I think that when you're comfortable with yourself and can live in your truth, there's really nothing to change. It's like you get it. You see things for what it is, and I think that unfortunately, fame, it's not like, oh, fame is only for the most confident, secure people. Like sometimes people just fall into it.
That's very true.
And they can't handle it. They were still working on themselves. Imagine being on in a magnifying glass and not even being able to work on it because everyone is always like, yes, sure, you can have everything. So it's like you have nothing to work for. You have everything to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. So even for me, observing you, because you've grown tremendously in terms of not only following, but in everything that you do, production, in just everything. You're very attention to detail. Yeah. I'm the same. Yeah. So I can see that. Like I love to see someone evolve and grow, and you can see that it's never a dull moment. No. It's like I still have something else to work on.
It's because I feel like as entertainers, you always have something to evolve and work on, because I don't want my videos to look the way they looked 4 years ago when you may have found me. Mm-hmm. I want you to be now, if you maybe stop watching me for a minute, you come back and be like, what that bitch doing? Mm-hmm. I want you to click on my shit and be like, oh, this bitch. Oh shit. Yeah, I need you to have that, because
Gabby sees, I'm like, you see this video? Like attention to detail.
It has to.
Like, you know what I mean?
But bitch, I'm happy I had you beauty bitches around me though, because you beauty bitches helped me out with that. Like to really find my lighting. No, bitch, I ain't got the softbox game. My softbox game is sickening because of y'all. I know my lighting, honey. I know my halogens and all.
You do have good lighting. I would tell you if it was off.
Yeah, I hope you do. I hope you do.
If you have good lighting. I didn't think it was softbox though.
No, it's not. It's not a softbox. It's an aperture softbox thingy.
I don't get.
It's an aperture.
She's like,
it's like this.
She's like, I'm not on camera.
If you take all this shit off, it looks something.
Like an LED chip.
It is. It's like not even a bulb. It's not even a.
You know at Lavish, it's the softbox is the LED chip with the huge umbrella.
There it is.
The one that Kristlyn shoots with?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it.
Okay. Well, it looks like underneath all the shit. It doesn't have like a bulb. It's more of like a motor.
It's not like, because when I think of softboxes, I think when we were first starting, like literally,
not that.
Like, the Limo Studio. I got it on Amazon for $60 for 3.
Okay, I had that first. That's what I started off with. That's what I started off with.
That's what I started off with too.
But I had
the whole little green screen thing behind you.
Bitch, I had all of that, and I used that softbox up until just earlier this year.
Yeah.
Surely did. I didn't change. I didn't learn about like real lighting and like how to make your skin look natural on camera until I like did my research, made some money, and was like, okay, I hate this washed out effect. I hate the fact that I have to like turn on the exposure because this light only has one setting. And so it was really nice to buy a light that I can turn the temperature down, turn the brightness down, and figure out like, you know, my camera settings with that. And then I learned about like LED lighting and KGB lighting with, RGB lighting with like, you know, these shits to like make shit change. I learned so many things, bitch. And I was like even learning down to how your camera shoots, how your lens shoots. I was always interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I'm my own producer. I
was gonna say you're like a one-man show.
I have now just hired an editor just like maybe a month ago.
And I know you're still a part of the process.
Of course. All before it goes up to the screen, bitch, it got to go through me. I got to go funnel. I actually edit. I'm such a control freak still. I still have to color correct in audio and do all the editing my audio myself, and then I send it over.
So you do all the hard stuff.
Yeah, they just cut it up. I like to color because I like to color correct myself. Yeah, I'm like only I can see how I want to see myself. Yeah. And I'm like. It's like certain outfits, you know, like certain colors on camera could throw off your color correction and stuff. So I'm like, she not gonna know how like I want. I'm like, let me just. I learned like Lumetri color on Adobe, and I'm like, I got it down packed. And like I learned my shit, bitch. And now you can't tell me shit. You know what I mean? I'm like getting into audio editing and like learning how like hard limiters and like noise shits and shit and all these types of shit. But like 4 years ago, I didn't know nothing about that. All I knew how to click a camera, put a ring light on. Clip some clips together, bitch, and that's it. You know what I mean? Now you couldn't catch me dead. You couldn't catch me dead. Because I need, as a Black entertainer, I need you to understand how much I take myself seriously. I need you to understand that this is not a game for me, and I need you to understand that I came on this earth and I came into this industry not to be mediocre. I want legendary shit. I want to look back at my legacy like, wow, I really did all of that.
And also, you're not going to sit here and wait for someone else to be the first. It's like, if I don't see it, I'm going to be.
I got to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I have no problem with, bitch, I will spend $5,000 on all my equipment before I buy $5,000 like pair of shoes.
Me.
I cannot.
I wear the same stuff all the time. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even focused on
I'm not focused on that. Not now,
and
at least.
If you are... Awesome.
By all means. Maybe that's how you get your creativity out.
Yeah.
But for me, I'd rather spend all this money I'm making, and I complain about it, but I'm actually grateful about it. But I don't spend my money on the material things as far as like buying a bag or buying the shoes and making like the celebrity part of myself look good. Bitch, give me an ASOS moment, honey. Give me I'll probably buy an expensive shoe just to make it look good. But other than that, my money goes straight to my business.
We're not busting slides.
No.
Like, look at these. I probably had these since we met.
There you go.
To be honest.
Same. And that's just like, but that's what's important to me. You know what I mean? And I think I want a lot of Black influencers, entertainers to say that it's okay. You're not selling out. You're not feel like you're better than anyone just because you want to fucking invest in your quality or you want to hire people that can maybe see the vision that you cannot see. Because I'm now going into that as an entertainer too, to now learn that I need a team. I can't do
everything yourself.
As much as you may want to. Bitch, you can't. You know what I mean? And I had to learn, like, I need a videographer. I need a photographer. Yeah. I need an editor. I need a manager. I'm going to need people that's going to help me out because I only could do so much. I can't be the talent and then be the person making everything look good. Bitch, I need somebody that's like trained in doing this. You know what I mean? Especially when I do this music video shit coming up this year, I need everything to look crazy crisp. Yeah. I need to have a director. Like now I'm like stepping into a whole nother role, which then makes you grow as an entertainer and then makes you grow as a person. Yeah. Because you're like, okay, bitch, I can't just cheap shot all this shit all the time. Now I have to really like put my shit, in my mouth where my money is and make it look good. Yeah. And so once you get to that point, bitch, you're like, nothing can stop you. Yeah. You have to feel like nothing can stop you to even feel like that. Because nothing really can. You're your worst enemy.
What you think is stopping you is really putting you in a position to take you even to a place where like sometimes I'm like, I couldn't even imagine doing this. Yeah. So you just never know. You never know. And sometimes, like, I'll be like, oh, it'll work out. And, like, it kind of hurts. But I'm just like, you know what? I'll understand. I'll get it one day. You know what I mean? But other than, like, music, now that we're here. Yeah. Now I feel like we covered so much of our past. What other than the music? What else is next? What's something that maybe you could like?
Well, I am stepping into merch finally. But the only reason why it took me so long to even get into merchandise and selling like clothing stuff is because once again, I like to do the things the right way. I don't want to just go with some fucking merch company and post some shit on a t-shirt and call it art. You know, I want something where if you buy that shit, you're like, bitch, I love this. Period. Like, I want to buy that again, or when it comes back in stock, please let me know type shit. I need that kind of material because that's what makes people want to shop. Look at the material. You know, that's what makes people want to come back, you know? Yeah. So, but honestly, the biggest thing for me next year is the music because I've done covers and music videos of my own, like covering other people's songs this past year. And they did really well, which I did not expect. You're
a good singer.
Thank you.
You're honestly not even a good singer. You're a great singer.
Thank you.
Because I've heard you sing.
And around the house.
You know me. I've always, like, my secret dream has always been to be a pop star.
You're a pop star.
You used to call me Britney.
Yeah, because you are.
Not anymore. I feel like back then I was like,
fuck that, bitch. You will forever be a pop star to me, bitch.
Well, it's funny that you call me Britney. Like, no shade, because the reason why I never wanted to seriously pursue it was because I was like, I'm not a great singer.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that I want to do everything amazing.
Period.
So, I'll sacrifice it. I'll sacrifice it. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay with not doing this, but being able to pursue it creatively in a different and, alternative way.
And you do it very well. You do it very well. I want, once again, I've done a lot of vocal lessons, even since you've maybe heard me sing. I've went back to vocal training and wanted to learn more breathing techniques. I wanted to learn.
You be on the treadmill?
I've done all that. Dead ass, done all of that. Learn how to dance and sing at the same time. But I learned that back in theater. Come on. That's my shit though, bitch. That's an iconic situation.
For anyone listening, I was lip syncing. I was just miming. If you're like, huh?
I wanted to make sure that, because music for me is an escape. Music, that's the reason why I got into music video reactions, because I genuinely love music. So I didn't want to just like make music to be like, oh, I'm doing it and I have followers, so you guys are gonna listen. I don't want that. I'm okay with that. That's tired. That's so fucking tired.
It is.
So I'm like, I want to add to the artistry of music. And plus I have so many of my role models watching. Why the fuck would I come out half-assed? You know what I mean? So I wanted to test the market to see how my audience will react to me performing and actually performing and not making it funny or just doing a little choreography situation.
Like taking it serious.
And they took it so well to the point where the top comments were, but bitch, when is your music coming out? I'm like, well, whoa. Me and my management were like, yeah, girl, what's the tea? And so I did kind of try to put it off. I tried to be like, well, no, maybe I should just keep being the guy that talks and because I'm so good at it. And I'm like, but I've always wanted to be a musician first. But then this happened first. So I was like, well, bitch, we'll do this then.
It was training.
And that's the gag.
It was training.
And I think that's what it was. I think that I had to learn how to be comfortable with the camera, comfortable with my voice, comfortable with my body, comfortable with my body transformations. I had to like work on me. And I think that now that I have lost weight and I've found myself as an entertainer, that it's now time to like make like this crazy like debut. And I'm coming up with an EP. I don't know what it's called. I couldn't tell you because we're still working on all the kinks. Couldn't tell you what's going on. But I'm really, really excited to like go on this journey of like touring and like connecting with the people over music. And like it's going to be electronic dance music. So honestly, that's just my whole life.
It's funny because I'm like, I need pop.
It's going to be pop music.
I need pop music to come back.
Going to be pop music.
I appreciate the music that
I love hip hop.
And but I'm
a pop kid.
No shade, but when we were in high school, there were so many genres to pick from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit more limited, and I that's why I appreciated Chromatica.
Yeah, come on now.
Because I was like Gaga. I'm not crazy about like Dua Lipa, but I do appreciate that she's also bringing back pop and stuff. And I think there's an urge that people are kind of like, okay. Let's bring it back.
I think that pop, in my mind, pop never left for me. That's all I listen to. I love hip hop so much, but I love when those worlds collide. And I'm very aware of the challenges I'm about to face as being a Black gay pop star. they automatically put you in a box of ones that come before you, or they try to limit you for just doing prides or stuff like that, which I have no problem with. Love that. Can't wait. But also, I do see it on a more global level. I think that's how I have to think, because when I was 14, I had a dream of being an adult in Los Angeles and thriving. Here we are, years later.
I used to watch The Hills, and I was like, Ma,
I have to be there.
I'm gonna live in Los Angeles.
There
and
we
she
go.
would be like, okay.
And same.
Because like there was nobody here. Like everybody in my family either lived in New York, Pennsylvania, Florida, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay,
so, right.
I get it. Here I am, mother.
Here we are.
Hola.
And I'm just like, but if I feel like if I made this happen, and this sounds like a crazy dream, right? Moving from Detroit, Michigan, all the way to Los Angeles, and actually staying there on my own, living in my own apartment, at that time it sounded crazy.
Same.
But now we fast forward and it's our reality. So I'm like, well, now that I'm here, I've made all these crazy things. Why am I limiting myself to just, I just want to perform and like be good at like prides and like, no, bitch. Think about performing at like fucking EDC and performing at fucking like in Dublin and like thinking about selling out fucking thousands and thousands of concerts.
And
why not?
I'll be at the friends and family.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. Let me tell you something.
I want the security escorting me.
I've already had like my dream crew of like my friends that like, please, and right there at the goddamn pit, like doing the same thing. Please.
With a little headset.
Do you understand? Shit like that for me makes me so happy. And like that's what makes my dreams more the reality, because I know I have people behind me that believe it and that know the capabilities I have. And it's so crazy to like, before I even step into this music thing, to have Sony, Universal, Warner Brothers, and all these people's management teams and these big celebrities follow me and we talk and we have this repertoire. And I'm like, bitch, so when are you coming out with your shit?
No shit.
Oh, shit, y'all watching too? So now it's like, everything lined up for a reason. Everything happened for a reason. You cannot tell me that it didn't. Because I'm like, now that I have this audience that now love me for who I am, and I'm not changing myself for anything, now we're expanding and doing something that kind of makes sense to kind of step into. It's like, well, bitch, if you talk about music all day long, might as well try it.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that journey. And I don't know how it's going to go. I do think it's going to be successful. And I think that it's probably going to change my life for something that I didn't expect, because... And I can't wait to come back on your podcast and talk about being Grammy nominated or some shit.
It's going to be the #1 podcast.
Yeah.
Bro, you was on the first episode.
Period. And I believe in stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, you never know how people are going to take stuff. Bitch, this could be, next thing you know, now we're going to be on the fucking big ass stage in front of, you just never know. And
we're going to be in a space where hopefully all this pandemic stuff is done and we could be around people and talk to them. And like, we're literally going to listen to this and be like, that's actually hilarious. That was like...
And I'm happy we had that. I'm happy we have this moment right now, because these are times where you look back and be ambitious. And our ambition got us here. So why can't it take us to the next level? You have to think like that. I feel like we, as colored people, like people of color, we always think like, well... I gotta wait for this to happen, for that to happen, or for the lines to line up. And I think that the world is changing, thank God, progressively, where it's like, bitch, we are the culture. Honey, we are those people. And it's like, you better capitalize off of that shit, and you better make that shit pop, because it is yours. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I feel about everything, girl.
No shit. I can literally sit here and talk to you forever. Like, I think you're just gonna be my guest every week. That's what we're gonna do.
Cause like we've been sitting here for almost 2 hours and it literally did not feel like it.
It did not feel like it.
I promise you we could talk and talk and talk. I love this. I'm so damn proud of you. This is sickening.
I'm proud of you. I am genuinely such a fan of your work and just your personality. And I think that it's amazing that we can sit here and talk and reflect. But then it seems like we're both excited for what's to come. I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited for you too.
I want my security.
Question. This is like a real work. Are you ever considering like making your own makeup line? Like, is that something that you would like to step into? Like, would you like to be that makeup mogul? Only reason why I ask that is because beauty for you came so effortless. I feel like you do it. Between you and Alf, I tell you, y'all are the two bitches. I'd be like, these bitches do it just so effortlessly for no reason.
I think... We'll see. I think that beauty has literally I felt like it drugged me. And I feel like that's why I've expanded outside
That's
of beauty.
Yeah.
I think that if I were to do beauty, it's like how you're doing music.
Come on.
It has to be something that, like, in my mind, I'm like,
that's it.
No one has done this because I'm not stamping my name on something. And I'm not here to be mediocre. And I'm not going to waste my time, and I'm not wasting anyone's money.
Woo! Wow. I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know. Some people don't know that. That's a hell of a honest ass answer. Because some people don't know. Some people just like, yeah, bitch, I'll do it. I'll try. Why not? No. And it's like, you got to have passion. You got to. Like, it has to be something that the market is wanting, I feel like. And you have to feel like, well, what makes me so cunt or make me so different people want to watch or people want to pay attention to, you know?
Yeah, but thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I had so much fun.
This was sickening.
So much fun.
This was everything. I really cannot wait to see this. I wish I could see this damn set. Is the camera catching all this set? Because, honey.
It's catching it.
It's sickening.
Thank you.
This set is over, bitch. For a first season, bitch.
It was a labor of love. I actually have to give a shout out to a couple of people.
Go ahead.
Helped me. So shout out to Meg Scale. She's the one that made
these
shields.
These are fire
shields.
I'm gonna need like 1,000 of these.
No, I get stoned. That's her brand. She's awesome and amazing. And,
love that.
Jaden was the one who built this set. My friend David, we actually went to school together.
What?
And he came out here and made this. Because I was like, if I wanted something that so was like New York.
And it looks so New York.
For everyone wondering, there's a little like graffiti moment happening.
It's so many different little gems on it too.
Yeah, like it's like the little detail and so shout out to David. I appreciate
the one and only Victor Ramos T.
Much. He knew me. He knew the essence of what
he did that one right.
Shout out to Gabby.
Yes.
Fluid image. She's behind the camera, so
that's what makes make sure you look gorgeous.
Child, this woman does too much for me. I feel like sometimes like she.
I love watching. Can I be honest? I love watching y'all stories when y'all go out shooting stuff. Yeah. And I use it so goddamn obnoxious, and you're like, I know I'm a lie. I know I'm a lie, and she deals with it. And
she deals with it.
I love y'all dynamic. It's so cute.
And for being such a big part of making my dreams come true.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You have your dream team.
Yeah.
That's sickening.
Us. That's us too. And I feel like I'm forgetting Maddie for creating my logo. She helped me create my logo right here.
Oh, the Tawkin.
I'm sure you'll see the Tawkin with
I
Big.
love that
and
so much.
John
And it has
creating my website.
Bitch, I just realized the detail. This bitch got the subway. Shut the fuck up. I can't.
Attention to detail.
You're so
and
cute.
John, shout out to John for creating the website. Honestly, like
there's a website to this too?
Oh yes.
My bitch is sick now.
Oh yes.
Man.
If you're gonna do it, do it.
I wish if I could just put that on a big ass t-shirt. If you're gonna do it,
you have merch coming out.
You have merch coming out. You should do that actually. This bitch really got so this Apple, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to a podcast on YouTube and on tawkinwithvic.com.
Yes, sir.
Well, girl, if you say you didn't see it, then you lying.
Or you hating. So, I'm gonna let you guys go again. Thank you, Zachary, for being on this. If you're on YouTube, thank you for watching it, and if you're just listening,
if you watched all the way through this, please subscribe. If you you better not click off. You better not click off.
There's really no reason that you don't listen through all of this. I was entertained.
I was.
But yeah, we're gonna let you go, y'all, and thank you so much for being a part of this. Bye, y'all. Thank you for listening, and remember to tune in to Talking with Vic every Friday.